Tonight into the Newsplex, a night team news alert. Fire breaking out at a Port Everglades propane tank farm. A live report just seconds away.
And that's not all we are working on tonight.
Get ready for another cold night, South Florida. But temps getting ready to rebound. Kids accused of stealing a car and going on one wild ride. We're live with the crashing conclusion. A South Florida swim coach in hot water. Economic emergency. The Big Three bailout hitting a roadblock while stocks sink to new lows. The enemy sending its first public message to President-elect Barack Obama. Plus, he's been named sexiest man alive by People magazine. Who is this hunk?
Craig Stevens? Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Belkis Nuray.
I'm Craig Stevens. All this and more up next.
Live from the news station, this is 7 News at 10.
Live pictures of Port Everglades, where tonight firefighters have had their hands full. A building inside this fuel farm going up in flames. Hello again, everyone. They moved fast to beat this one down.
And the effort finally paid off. Let's get right to the night team's Don Guevara. He is at the command post. Don?
Craig and Belkis, this is one of the largest liquid propane farms in the Southeast. It has the potential to house more than 1 million gallons of fuel. There wasn't that much here tonight, but had any one of these tanks caught fire, this would have been a bad one.
I just can't believe it looked the way it looked.
A shocking sight from Port Everglades. Flames shooting out of this office building Wednesday night. But this is no ordinary building fire. Dozens of tanks containing 800,000 gallons of liquid propane surround the burning building. It's like a match in a room full of dynamite. Firefighters knew the potential danger if the flames and the propane were to meet.
Would be catastrophic proportions, and you'd have a very, very large blast field, probably extending better than a mile.
Security guard Marie Joseph spots the fire while on patrol and calls 911.
And I heard a big bang, boom. So when I looked, it was already engulfed.
Fire crews had hazmat trucks on standby while they battled to keep the flames from spreading. The wind was no help. It sent burning embers flying towards the tanks, almost causing other fires. But after 20 minutes, crews soaked the blaze, leaving only a burned-out shell and a huge sense of relief that the fire's potential danger was extinguished as well.
That is dangerous because I don't know what was going to happen, because it could spread. Once it spread to propane, that's it.
And there was no one inside that office building at the time of the fire, and the cause of this fire is still under investigation. Reporting in Port Everglades, Don Guevara, 7 News Night Team.
Our other big story tonight, the mercury on the move as we get ready once again for another chilly night. In fact, if you like chilly, this is your week.
You know it. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Phil Farrow in the Weather Center to bring us the numbers. Phil?
You know, you just saw the temperature there, Miami Beach, 59 degrees, and that has people bundled up everywhere here across South Florida. Take a look at the video coming in tonight, too, the 7 Newsplex. Everybody is making sure that they stay away from the breeze that's coming in out of the north and northeast at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. That has all the local establishments putting out their heating units to keep their customers warm. Now, how cold will we be tonight? Between 50 and 55 degrees, not as cold as last night and nowhere near the record of 43 set back in 1914. But it will be mighty cold up in North Florida. A freeze warning in effect from Gainesville northeast through Jacksonville. Temperatures will be hovering around the 32-degree mark. This is what we can expect. Once again, temperatures will be in the 50s across South Florida. Thursday afternoon looking beautiful, but then Friday we do have another front that will slide into the area, and that'll keep us cool at least through Saturday morning. We will see a slight warm-up Saturday afternoon going into Sunday, but now as we take a look at some of the long-range models, there is yet another front taking shape across the nation's midsection that could arrive here just in time for Thanksgiving. I'll have a lot more on this in the local forecast coming up in weather.
Also tonight, children in danger. From a stranger prowling the streets to a swim coach who's in deep. The night team is live.
And police say that coach has made a shocking admission.
It involves minors. The night team's Robin Simmons begins our live night team coverage. She's in Fort Lauderdale. Robin?
The big news on the Fort Lauderdale campus is very bad news. It is all everyone is talking about here. The swim coach, and a meeting here tonight was very emotional, eliciting tears from a coach and also from students. This criminal complaint giving people some idea of what has been happening. This coach allegedly admitting to having hundreds of images of child pornography and also to having sex with minors dating back to 2001. Parents and their children leave Pinecrest School after a meeting revolving around the swim team, but it had nothing to do with their championship meet Thursday. It was about an assistant swim coach, Roberto Caragal.
Tomorrow they had to swim, and we had to show how, because he was a great coach, a great coach.
A great coach who admitted to sending and receiving child pornography, according to this federal complaint. A tip came in about a man reportedly forwarding child pornography. Broward Sheriff's investigators tracking the email address to Caragal. He consented to a search of his laptop, which the complaint alleges held dozens of images of naked young boys, some engaged in sex acts. He initially denied, then admitted to the allegations. Caragal's neighbors stunned.
A detective stopped by and asked us some questions about the neighbor.
For us not to know that and have someone living so close to us, it's frightening. It's frightening in being in a neighborhood with small children, and I have small boys.
His employers at Pinecrest moving quickly.
We do not know any of the details of the investigation at this time. Pinecrest School is cooperating fully with law enforcement. Mr. Caragal has been placed on administrative suspension.
Caragal also coached boys swimming at Metro Dade Aquatics, the Plantation Swim Team, and Cypress Bay High School. This mother, who didn't want to give her name, says Caragal was a good coach who's got to pay for his mistakes. She's got to focus on her 7th grade daughter.
Tomorrow we have championships to play, for them to swim, and we have to worry about that. We have to worry about them. If he had done something wrong, he had to take care of himself.
And Roberto Caragal will not be preparing for that big swim meet tomorrow. That is because he is spending the night in federal custody. He is due in federal court Monday for a bond hearing. Reporting live in Fort Lauderdale, Robin Simmons, 7 News Night Team.
Well, from Robin, now we take it to the night team's Renee Marsh.
She is more on the attempted abduction of 2 girls in Lauderhill. Renee?
That's right, Craig. 2 girls on their way to school, almost abducted. One of them on their way here to Parkway Middle School.
An 11-year-old Lauderhill girl waiting at a school bus stop at Northwest 19th Street and 58th Avenue close to 7 o'clock Wednesday morning is almost kidnapped.
She's highly upset. When she starts talking about it, she just breaks down.
With the predator still on the loose, the girl and her godfather too afraid to show their faces.
She told me about the man in a big car. He first started talking to her. She ignored him, and he kept trying to talk to him. Then he pulled over. He circled the block. The circle block came back again.
That's when they say the predator opens his car door trying to grab the 11-year-old girl, who was on her way to Broward Estates Elementary.
Take off.
What did you teach her to do?
Take off, run, and get help.
And that's exactly what she did.
Yes, she did.
Then police say a different man, also in Lauderhill, attempts to lure another schoolgirl into his white truck. The second student nearly abducted was on her way to Parkway Middle School.
2 separate incidents, and we have 2 separate vehicles involved.
The student had seen the car before. Monday, she says the driver ordered her to get in the car with him.
She described him as being bald, Jamaican or Creole accent. He was in his late 30s to early 40s.
Police say he tried luring her into his car again Wednesday, but drove off when he saw she was not walking alone.
So here's a description of the 2 vehicles. One is a 4-door car, older model, silver, and the other is a white box truck with blue lettering. If you have information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen, 954-493-TIPS. We are live tonight. Renee Marsh, 7 News Night Team.
A couple of kids getting a driving lesson they'll never forget, but there's a problem. They are not old enough to get behind the wheel. Not only that, police say they actually stole the car.
The night team's Charles Belay is live for us in West Park with more on this. Charles?
I got a question for you guys. What would have happened to us, 12, 14 years old, if we would have done this when we were kids? I would have gotten the strap. Who knows? Maybe that would help. Check out what they did. The family that lives in this house just got done spending thousands of dollars renovating this portion of the house. And tonight, it's destroyed.
With their faces blurred to protect their identities, a 12 and 14-year-old are under arrest, cops say, for doing this, smashing into this house using this stolen car.
And they couldn't even barely see over the dashboard.
That young and small in stature, but these boys big enough, police say, to jump into this Nissan Altima and take off. The owner left it running in his driveway to warm it up, and that's when the boys made their move, driving about a half a block down the center median and into Fitzner Sinfar's home.
A sink, the shower, and my bedroom. I think the bed is torn down.
Slowly, the car is pulled out and the extent of the damage revealed. Extensive. Now, the home needs to be completely rebuilt, and that is part of the insult. The family just renovated.
I'm planning to stay somewhere else until I got everything fixed up.
It just really upsets me that now pretty much a lot of this is going to come out of their pockets.
As we come back out live, you're taking a look at the sticker that the city put on this house. They came out here, took a look at it, and said that this house is an unsafe structure. When you have an impact like that against a solid structure, sometimes you can rock it from its foundation. So inspectors are going to have to come out here and make sure that this house has not been, or its integrity has not been violated. So when the family does come back to start their repairs, the house doesn't collapse on them. We'll keep you posted on how it goes. We're live tonight in West Park. I'm Charles Belay, 7 News 19.
A teacher cleared of any wrongdoing in the fatal shooting of a teen at Dillard High School. A student telling police he warned a teacher about the suspect bringing a gun to school the day of the shooting. The Broward Teachers Union says a police investigation determined that student was lying. Now the student's considering or the union, I should say, is considering legal action against the student. 15-year-old Amanda Collette was shot and killed last week. Police charged a friend, Tia Wimberly, with murder. Detectives say she was upset because the two had recently stopped speaking.
A set of South Florida twins surviving a horrific accident. The two 12-year-olds were waiting for a school bus at the corner of Southwest 251st Street and 124th Avenue in Southwest Miami-Dade when a driver hit them. Crews rushed to the scene to treat the children, but the twins needed to be airlifted to the hospital.
It called me screaming on the phone. It's just scary that they had to be airlifted. That's scary, you know, because usually that's not something good.
Doctors say the two are in good condition and should make a full recovery. Police are unsure how the driver lost control, but say the road curves, and that may have played a factor.
A blaze breaking out in Southwest Miami-Dade, a shed catching fire near Southwest 164th Street and 157th Avenue, spreading to some brush nearby. Firefighters eventually dousing the flames. Nobody was injured. Investigators say tires stored inside the shed helped fuel those flames.
Car company execs in the hot seat once again as they ask the feds for a multi-billion-dollar bailout, but their plan has stalled.
The news sending stocks plunging again on Wall Street, this time hitting all new lows. The Dow falling below the 8,000 mark.
This while the fate of the auto industry grows increasingly unclear. The 19's Nicole Ensalada reports on the economic emergency tonight. Nicole?
Well, Belky's a scary day for the economy. We haven't seen the stock market go below 8,000 since 2003. And this comes as the big three automakers are hoping for the same kind of rescue from Congress that many financial firms received. But hope for that appears to be fading. The stock market opened with a flare. Gene Simmons from Kiss ringing the opening bell in his own way. But the market would nosedive, closing below 8,000 for the first time in more than 5 years. On Capitol Hill, the big three automakers practically begged for financial help, blaming the deteriorating economy for their financial woes.
We moved aggressively in recent years to position GM for long-term success, and we're well on the road to turning our North American business around.
But CEO Rick Wagner says his company, General Motors, now burns through $5 billion a month. The big three, GM, Ford, and Chrysler, are now asking the government for $25 billion. Without it, they say more than 3 million Americans could be out of a job. And the CEOs say they have been tightening their belts.
The auto industry has been heavily affected by the turmoil in the financial markets.
We have been dramatically restructuring and downsizing.
Aside from struggling car companies, more bad news. Housing starts are at their lowest in 50 years. And a University of Florida study says Florida consumers will be spending far less this year, leading to one of the worst holiday sales seasons in decades. But back in D.C., listen to this one question posed to the automakers by a California congressman.
I'm going to ask the three executives here to raise their hand if they flew here commercial. Let the record show no hands went up.
That was Congressman Brad Sherman from California, and they didn't raise their hands because they flew to D.C. in private jets, each of them. Here's a look at those closing numbers again. The Dow lost 427 points to drop to 7,997. The Nasdaq dropped 97 to 1386, and the S&P 500 fell 52 points to 806. Now, as for the automakers, a Senate vote on that bailout has been canceled, but a compromise, we're told, is still possible. Live in the Plex, Nicole Insalata, 7 News.
Well, he hasn't even been sworn into office yet, but President-elect Barack Obama possibly becoming the verbal target of al-Qaeda. The night team's Reed Cowan is in the Plex with the story. Reed?
Well, Balkis, this latest message from al-Qaeda is unverified, and it appeared first on 2 Islamic websites. That said, this tape hits President-elect Barack Obama where it hurts: race and politics. And in it, the al-Qaeda number 2 promises Obama a legacy of, quote, failure and crimes.
The same look, the same sound. Al-Qaeda speaks, only this time President-elect Barack Obama is in their crosshairs. In the video, the purported voice of al-Qaeda number 2, Ayman al-Zawahiri, speaks over video of a yarmulke wearing Obama visiting Israel earlier this summer over a translated message that says, quote, you were born of a Muslim father, but you chose to stand in the ranks of the enemies of the Muslims. The terrorist number 2 targeting Obama's race, using a photo of Malcolm X, saying the new president does not represent change like Malcolm X. Instead, saying Obama is like Secretaries of State Condoleezza Rice and Colin Powell, calling all 3, quote, house Negroes. That is a racial left hook applied to slaves who served whites in their masters' homes rather than working in the fields. Reaction to the tape swift from both sides of the aisle.
What we have here is more despicable and pathetic comments by al-Qaeda terrorists. And in America, we are going to have a smooth transition from one administration to the next.
I think they're pretty nervous in al-Qaeda because we have a whole new approach here in the United States. We have a new unity behind our president-elect. He sends a message to the world that represents the America that we really are.
All right, so the Obama transition team declining to comment tonight. The 11-minute-long message was not directed solely at the new president, however. Zawahiri saying Obama's victory represents a failure of President Bush's policies and an admission of defeat in Iraq. Live in the Newsplex, Reed Cowan, 7 News.
Well, the president-elect reportedly tapping former Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle to head the Department of Health and Human Services. The former South Dakota senator, long considered a favorite for the post because of his work on health care. Daschle served in the Senate for 17 years before losing a re-election bid in 2004. He was a close advisor to Mr. Obama throughout the campaign and was also believed to be on a short list for Chief of Staff.
Still ahead from South Florida's night team. Some local murders being featured on an upcoming episode of America's Most Wanted. The new clue in the Boca Mall murders is next.
Also slip and slide, drivers not getting any traction in one state.
Plus, get a closer look at a South Florida crime lab in a special assignment report, making the case.
I'm Louis Aguirre, live in the Plex. He's the sexiest man alive. What's making the people at People go gaga over Hugh Jackman? You're going to find out later on in The Buzz.
7 News, brought to you in part by your local Honda dealers. Test drive a 2009 Honda today at your Honda dealer.
The fuel-efficient Accord EXL has a luxuriously appointed interior and technology features like an iPod connection, available navigation system with voice recognition, and Bluetooth connectivity. So in an Accord EXL, destination is ahead. You can always find what you're looking for.
Get APR financing as low as 1.9% on 2009 Accords for well-qualified buyers.
This holiday season, Volvo would like to offer you the gift of savings with a $750 gift card. The gift of service with complimentary factory-scheduled maintenance. And the gift of safety for life. Happy holidays from Volvo. The Season of Giving event ends January 2nd.
The year-end sell-a-thon is on, and the clock is ticking. We're closing out 2008 by giving you some amazing deals. Now through the end of the year, you can get up to $7,500 in combined cash allowance on 2008 models. Plus, get a no extra charge DVD on select Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge vehicles. And we have hundreds of financing options available, so we're making it easier to get the new vehicle you want. The Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge year-end sell-a-thon is on at your local dealer. So hurry in before 2008 is over.
Our biggest savings of the year.
This week at Rick Case.
It's No Pay November. Save thousands on brand new Hondas, and you don't pay till May. This week at Rick Case. Huge savings on new Honda Cruisers from $33.99. New ATVs from $24.99. Aquatrax just $69.99. Even dirt bikes for only $11.39. We've got millions in financing through Honda available now with 0 down, 0% and 0 payments. You don't pay till May during No Pay November. This week at Rick Case Honda, I-75 at Griffin.
Celebrate the Great American Smokeout. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com.
A critical clue in the unsolved Boca Mall murder is about to get even more national attention. The Fox program America's Most Wanted will run the story over the weekend.
Investigators are hoping an enhanced picture will finally lead them to the killers. Here's the night team's Dave Cartoonin.
It was the break Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw was convinced would solve the Boca Town Center murders. Surveillance video of 2 men in Connecticut and Massachusetts using the credit card number of Randy Gorenberg, murdered in March 2007 after leaving the Boca Town Center Mall.
We just want to talk to these people. It's very, very important to find out where they got the card, when they got the card, under what circumstances. So it's important.
For the 4th time, America's Most Wanted will feature the Boca Town Center murders this weekend, and they're bringing in some high-powered help.
I said, we have a special relationship with NASA. Let us try to enhance the video. So this Saturday night, this picture and this video will be on America's Most Wanted.
The enhanced photo is a marked improvement over the old grainy video, showing one of the men in a distinctive print shirt and what appears to be a New York Yankees cap.
It's amazing how people recognize different clothes like Tommy Bahama shirts or whatever, or a logo on the hat and say, hey, you know what, this guy wears this all the time, we know it.
The clue is not only critical to Gorenberg's murder, but also may hold the key to solving the murders of Nancy and Joey Bochicchio, who were murdered under near identical circumstances, leaving the same mall last December. Cops are convinced the murders and a similar carjacking last year are related. The timing of the story also comes with a stern reminder as the holiday shopping season begins.
I would say, don't assume it couldn't happen to you. Be street smart. Somebody targeted a mall in Boca Raton.
You can catch America's Most Wanted's 4th installment of the Boca Town Center murders this Saturday night right here on 7. That's at 9 p.m. At the news desk, Dave Cartoonin, 7 News Night Team.
Off the satellites now, a major Indiana interstate being shut down after it's hit by a snowstorm. The white stuff reaching a foot or more deep in some places along the Indiana-Illinois border in Portage. State troopers reporting at least 12 accidents were caused by slick roads. But for some residents, the winter weather just comes with the territory. Homeowners breaking out the shovels to clear their driveways, while city workers use snow plows to clear the streets.
A day of hiking turning into a nightmare for a couple in North Carolina. The pair hiking late Monday night when they somehow got lost in the woods. They were able to call a relative, but their cell phone died before they could tell them where they were.
To survive the night.
Well, we found a fallen tree, and we kind of huddled up next to it and had a blanket with us.
We prayed and
ask God to keep us safe through the night, and He did.
After a massive search in the cold weather, crews found the two and both are okay.
3, 2, 1.
A big blast in Virginia. Workers imploding a dye mill near Lynchburg, but one of the smokestacks falling in the wrong direction. Crews say the tower was supposed to take out a wall that is now still standing. Officials evacuated the area before the blast.
Crime labs are fascinating places filled with high-tech equipment, but unlike those TV shows, most real crimes are not solved within an hour. Tonight, Patrick Frazier takes us inside the Broward Sheriff's Office crime lab and shows us how investigators are making the case.
Jack Walker caught a man trying to steal his van. That man killed Walker and got away with it. 3 years later, his widow Patricia got a phone call. The Broward Crime Lab had identified the man who murdered her husband.
It meant so much to me because after 3 years, I had reached the point where I was giving up.
Stephen Fagan is accused of raping women for 14 years in Florida and Illinois and getting away with it.
Right now, I'm actually doing an indication test for the presence of semen.
Then the Broward Crime Lab got a sample of his DNA.
This was a national database hit. Now, that national database is held in West Virginia. It's the FBI. And what that did is that matched up with a case that was in Illinois.
Fagan was arrested, another accused criminal off the streets, in part thanks to the Broward Crime Lab. When most people think of crime labs, they think of CSI. Great show, everything happens like that, quick and easy. This is the Broward Crime Lab. It's not quick, it's not easy, it's very complicated. Look at this gun. With the naked eye, nothing. But when Detective Bell turns on this laser, a crucial piece of evidence pops out.
There's a fingerprint right there on the side of the gun, which without the laser you don't really see it, and you wouldn't be able to photograph it.
A fingerprint you can see, but some of the critical evidence that comes into the Broward Crime Lab is impossible to spot.
You're dealing with cells. It can be essentially anything from several cells up to several thousand cells.
Under the microscope, the technicians uncover the cells. Maybe they're from skin or a tiny drop of semen. After a technician processes it, the machine goes to work to try and match the DNA to a person. That is the 1 in quadrillion you talked about.
Correct, or even more, quintillion.
Mind-boggling numbers. Just one problem. With 34,000 cases a year sent to the crime lab, the results don't happen overnight.
It takes days to do, or maybe weeks to do. Well, in CSI, it's done like immediately.
The detectives begin the case, the crime labs end it, and even try to help win it in court. In this garage, Joseph Tarak is determining where a bullet would come through a car to show detectives where to go look for more evidence and to help a prosecutor get a conviction.
We can take a picture, and what the picture does is it kind of gives us and a jury an idea of the exact trajectory so that instead of them having to sit in the car, they can visualize it without having to be there.
A lot of work behind the scenes to help catch a criminal and make a crime victim's family feel a little better.
To me, this is a great, great procedure, the DNA, because I hope it will work for other people too.
All done behind the scenes, slowly and meticulously, in the hopes of making the case. Patrick Frazier, 7 News.
Next on 7 News.
A surprise from down under. He is the sexiest man alive, according to One magazine.
Britney Spears opening up about her decision to marry Kevin Federline.
And an elderly woman boarded a flight but ended up at the wrong destination. We'll tell you where.
I always fear that. I'm Steve Shapiro. Coming up in sports. The Heat and Raptors go to the final minute tonight at the AAA. And it's been a while since the Dolphins have played a meaningful game in late November, but that's what they got this weekend. 7 Sports coming up. Stick around.
Tomorrow on 7 News, first at 10.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor.
Mr. Rogers loved his neighbors.
Here we are, neighbors again.
But Mr. Rogers never met these nasty neighbors.
You don't have to flip me off, bro.
Now 200,000 people a day are seeing and hearing about them. One little problem, many of the accused had no idea what their neighbors were saying about them, and when we showed them, they were shocked. Want to know if your neighbors are talking about you? Watch Loathe Thy Neighbor tomorrow at 10 on 7 News.
7 News, brought to you in part by El Dorado, a different kind of furniture store.
Our biggest savings of the year.
This week at Rick Case.
It's No Pay November. Save thousands and don't pay a dime till 2009 at Rick Case. New Hondas that get up to 45 miles per gallon from $135 a month. Only Rick Case gives you a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus huge savings on used cars. We've got millions in financing and leasing through Honda with 0 down, 0% or 0 payments. Not a dime till 09 during No Pay November. This week at Rick Case Honda, I-75 at Griffin.
Oh, Kate. Let me take a look at what you got.
Okay. It won't interfere with any of your other medications.
Anne.
Oh, listen, why don't you have a seat, and I'll get on this right away, okay?
Anne, come here. Hi.
Why don't you draw a really pretty picture for Mom?
This should make you feel better.
Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hi, I'm Chris Asmore, General Manager at Esserman Nissan, and I want you to come in and check out our amazing deals. Why? Because at times when others don't, Esserman Nissan delivers. Lease a new 2009 Rogue for only $189 a month, or the all-new 2009 Murano for only $259 a month. Esserman Nissan delivers. That's the Rogue for $189 a month, or the Murano for $259 a month. When you need it most, Esserman Nissan delivers, and that's a fact. Esserman Nissan, Palmetto and 57th Ave.
Get what you want, get what you need. Get Comcast Digital Voice local with more home phone service. Make the switch and save big every month. Enjoy unlimited local calling, plus 12 popular calling features. You'll also get domestic long-distance calling for 5 cents a minute. Get what you want, get what you Make the switch. Get Comcast Digital Voice local with more for just $24.95 per month every month. Call 1-800-COMCAST today. Yeah.
Closed captioning, sponsored by City Furniture, offering same-day delivery 7 days a week.
Man, oh man, People magazine has bestowed him with the coveted title of Sexiest Man Alive. Hugh Jackman is smoking.
And in case you're wondering, he's not single. No, sorry. But Louis Aguirre is, and he's with that and more stories making the buzz. Lou?
He's been married for a while, from the sexiest man alive to Hollywood's hottest tots, and a hometown superstar honoring superstars in our classrooms. Yeah, we're buzzing.
Mr. Drover, there's only one tent.
We're not really used to
A woman?
guests. We're not used to guests, that's what I was about to say.
He's the Thunder from Down Under. People magazine naming Australian actor Hugh Jackman the sexiest man alive.
You can't be serious.
Yeah, dude. People magazine says you're the sexiest. The list already on People's website, and check out who else got named the Hollywood hottie. New James Bond, Daniel Craig, Mad Men's John Hamm, tween heartthrob Zac Efron, TV hunk Robert Buckley, and actor Blair Underwood, among others. Check out who else is hot. Suri Cruise, the 2-year-old daughter of Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes, tops Forbes.com's second annual list of Hollywood's 10 hottest tots. 3 Jolie Pitts also make the cut. Shiloh in second place after coming in first last year. Zahara in third place. And Pax is fourth on the list. Nice going, Brangelina.
Who's your daddy now?
Debs, she did it again. And again, Britney Spears on record on a new MTV documentary saying that her 2 marriages were the biggest mistakes of her life. Husband number 1, Jason Alexander, only lasted about 40 hours after a quickie Vegas wedding following a wild night of partying. Hubby number 2, K-Fed. Nuff said. Oh, Britney.
Takima, where are you? I hope she didn't leave. Big round of applause again for Takima McGriff.
Gloria Stefan on her feet to honor 3 outstanding school principals. The 6th annual Leonard Miller Principal Leadership Awards given out on Star Island, and Glo was only too happy to be there and take part. After all, her mom is a retired Dade County school teacher.
I think the teachers are the most important people that we have in our lives as parents. I think we'd all go nuts without really wonderful teachers. And I think they have an impact on our future. So anything we can do to help our educational system for me is obviously very personal.
Well, a good egg. South Florida's top principal won a cash prize of $10,000. The two runner-ups each got $5,000. Congrats to all. By the way, that People magazine hits newsstands tomorrow. Live in the Plex, Louis Aguirre, 7 News 19.
Thanks, Lou.
Still ahead here from the night team. She had a ticket to Florida, but somehow she ended up a good ways away. This major mix-up just ahead.
Also, a teen getting 2 heart transplants, and that's not even the most remarkable part of this story.
All right, the cold continues to filter into South Florida. We can expect a clear night across the area with lows in the low to mid 50s. The entire forecast in just a couple of minutes.
Tomorrow on 7 News at 5.
Wandering away, getting hurt, or worse. For parents of autistic children, losing a child is their greatest fear.
He knows how to pick any lock. Doesn't matter how little the little lock pick is, he will get out.
But when an autistic child goes missing, how do parents call for the kind of help they need?
There's no question about it. We need some kind of an alert system, something pretty similar to Amber Alert.
To make sure these children are found in time.
We want Caitlin's life not to go in vain. At the very minimum, we want her to raise awareness.
Autism Alert, tomorrow, first at 5, only on 7 News.
7 News, brought to you in part by Chrysler. Engineered beautifully.
The year-end sell-a-thon is on, and the clock is ticking. We're closing out 2008 by giving you some amazing deals. Now through the end of the year, you can get up to $7,500 in combined cash allowance on 2008 models. Plus, get a no extra charge DVD on select Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge vehicles. And we have hundreds of financing options available, so we're making it easier to get the new vehicle you want. The Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge year-end sell-a-thon is on at your local dealer, so hurry in before 2008 is over.
Johnny, look at all this fresh seafood. It's the key to our newest creation, risotto di mare.
Fresh clams, mussels, shrimp, and scallops. Fresh seafood's the most important part.
And making the risotto rich and creamy.
And it's these Italian spices that give this a little Carrabba's kick.
I love a kick, Johnny.
I know. I like all these combination of flavors that makes our risotto di mare an authentic Italian dish. At Carrabba's, good things happen around our table.
Get what DSL doesn't deliver. Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. With speeds up to a blazing fast 12 megs. Surf safely with McAfee Security Suite. Consolidate your contacts in one convenient place and get tons of online storage. Get what you want. Get what you need. Make the switch to Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost. Just $24.99 a month for 6 months. Call 1-800-COMCAST today.
Announcing Mazdanomics. In times like these, you need a solution like this. With Mazdanomics, you save big on a decked-out Mazda 3 that gets 32 mpg and has more interior room and standard horsepower than Civic or Corolla. With Mazdanomics, you cash in big. Hurry in to lease the Mazda 3i Sport for $159 a month for 36 months with $27.54 due at lease signing.
The new Dade Jeep Chrysler Dodge. We're bigger, we're better, and we'll prove it. Southwest 137th Avenue and 136th Street.
Now, time for 7 weather with Chief Meteorologist Phil Vero.
You know, it's been cold since Sunday night, at least for Florida standards, with lows in the 50s. This is how today shaped up. Low of 59 degrees, 51 in Fort Lauderdale, 52 in Miami, 67 for a high in Key West, and in the 70s over Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Right now, 61 degrees at the airport, the breeze out of the north-northwest at 7. Mostly clear skies for you in Fort Lauderdale. Just a couple of clouds hanging around, a temperature of 60, still breezy, and Key West just looking gorgeous. Very little in the way of any clouds, a temperature of 65 degrees. Now, ever since this cold air mass has moved into South Florida, it's been dry. We haven't seen any rainfall whatsoever, and that will be the pattern as this cold air mass that's coming in from Canada settles into South Florida. It is very dry, so no rain in the forecast at least until Sunday. By then, we may see a shower or two. You see this big spin right here? That is low pressure. And as it continues to drift away from the U.S., it is dragging that cold Canadian air and pushing it towards South Florida. That's not going to change over the next 12 to 24, even 36 hours. So for tonight, high pressure drops south. By tomorrow, we are going to see another front, yet one more, moving in right over the northern end of the state. We will remain very nice and mild after a cold start. And then by Friday, yet another front starts to move into the area, and that could keep our temperatures hanging around in the 50s, low 50s, at least for the first part of the weekend. And then as we look ahead, long-range models are suggesting that by Wednesday, another front will move in, cooling us down once again for Thanksgiving. Here's the marine forecast. Small craft advisory in effect in the Gulf Stream waters. Seas of 2 to 4 feet, 7 feet in the Gulf Stream. The bay with a moderate chop. For you throughout the lower Florida Keys, inside the reef 1 to 2, beyond the reef 3 to 5, and nearshore waters also with a moderate chop. Tonight, few clouds, 55 along the coast, 50 inland. It'll still be breezy, near 60 for the Keys. And then as far as tomorrow afternoon is concerned, just fantastic. Highs in the mid-70s. The breeze will die down in the afternoon. And here's your extended outlook. It should remain cold through Friday, cooler on Saturday, warming up towards Monday and Tuesday. But then another front comes in on Wednesday, and that one should cool us down through Turkey Day. And that's your 7 on 7 forecast.
All right, Phil, thanks.
Belle Keys, that's you.
You're supposed to cover up and keep going.
Get to it.
This poor woman, what a mess.
83-year-old Elfrida Kummel was supposed to travel home on U.S. Airways from New York to Tampa. Bit of a mix-up happened. She was escorted to the gate, but somehow wound up on a flight that brought her to Puerto Rico.
What I think might have happened is that they brought her on this cart and told her to get off and just sit in a chair. So when the flight started boarding, she got on with everybody else.
The airline's not sure how she got on the wrong flight because she did have a ticket with the Tampa destination. They realized the mistake. They put her on another flight for the trip to Tampa. That happened to me when I was a kid. I was supposed to go to Lexington, Virginia, traveling by myself, got on the plane, landed, and see, welcome to Bluegrass Field, Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, this ain't good.
Did your mother have a heart attack?
Well, a little bit, yeah. Funny how the airline was quick to put me in a nice room and get me there the next day.
And all of what, 14?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Nice.
Good story to tell, though.
Coming up in just 2 minutes, she lived without a heart before undergoing a life-saving transplant, but this is the radar, so we're going to hear from this teen.
That's not what's going on right now.
That's not at all what's going on.
Don't know what that is at all.
No.
One of football's top running backs wants out of the desert. Sports is coming up.
Never a dull moment.
Would it kill you to spend the holidays with your family?
I'd rather be like stuck on an island with some weird millionaire hunting me.
On November 26th, it just might.
My brothers, they're semi-professional cage fighters.
Soldier boy, soldier boy!
Like cockfighting, but like with dudes.
What?
Dude cockfighters.
Vince Vaughn, Reese Witherspoon.
You don't really like kids, huh? I like kids. Oh!
Oh my God.
They don't like me.
4 Christmases, rated PG-13.
It's always a party at Mardi Gras.
It's a special time of year. Time to give the ones you love the power to own the road.
Yeah.
Celebrate the season of Audi with over 130 channels of Sirius satellite radio and enjoy no payments at signing when you lease or finance select Audi models.
You loved it
it so much, we're launching it again. December 13th from downtown Fort Lauderdale's New River. This year, cruise along with Grand Marshal Jim Belushi to the theme Rockin' the Night Away. Enter your boat for as little as $35. So don't let this parade pass you by. Call now or click on winterfestparade.com. Brought to you by Channel 7 and these sponsors.
South Carolina girl proving she really has heart.
As the night team's Roy Ramos reports, the 14-year-old facing the cameras after surviving not one, but 2 heart transplants.
I thank them for helping me.
Tears run down the face of 14-year-old Dejana Simmons while thanking the team of doctors at Holtz Children's Hospital on Jackson Memorial Medical Center that kept her alive with an artificial heart for close to 4 months after her body rejects a heart transplant.
We decided to remove her heart and implant 2 artificial pumps in order to bridge her over to a second heart transplant.
For a total of 118 days, Dejana lived essentially without a heart, making her the first pediatric patient to survive with an artificial heart for that length of time.
It was like I was a fake person, like I didn't really exist, I was just here. But now I know that I really was here, and I did live without it.
Dejana received her second heart transplant in late October, followed by a kidney transplant the day after, and according to doctors, is doing well.
She will be able to do most of the things that a girl of her age would do.
I couldn't be even happier to see her sitting here able to walk and talk and do different things with different people. Made a lot of friends here.
And while Dejana does have a lot of friends at Holtz Children's Hospital with her birthday coming up this Saturday, I'm pretty sure she already has plans of her own.
Go to Bayside.
Bayside? What do you want to do?
Ride in the water boats.
Dejana will be going home later today and will consistently need to come back to take medication to build up her immune system. Later next week, she starts her exercise program to start building up strength to do things that most children her age do. JMH, Roy Ramos, 7 News.
Still ahead from the night team, the Heat get another big night from Dwayne Wade. But was it enough to beat the Raptors? The highlights are ahead.
The Canes ready for a primetime showdown with Georgia Tech tomorrow night in Atlanta. Steve Shapiro, our primetime star, is up next.
7 News, brought to you in part by South Motors Honda. Be smart. Drive South.
South Motors Honda has millions to lend. Over 200 Civics from just $88 a month.
Striving to be number one by making you number one.
South Motors. Be smart. Drive South.
Sheehan Mitsubishi, South Florida's newest Mitsubishi dealer, is announcing their grand opening sales event. Thanks to a special allocation, Sheehan Mitsubishi has hundreds of fuel-efficient Mitsubishis to choose from. Come in today and check out great grand opening deals like, for a limited time, 0% financing for 72 months is available on select models of Mitsubishis. That's over $10,000 in finance savings. Sheehan Mitsubishi guarantees the lowest Mitsubishi price and guaranteed financing. There's a reason that Sheehan's believin' at Sheehan Mitsubishi.
Mom, what she makes for the holidays can't be found in a cookbook. Because what Mom adds to every holiday meal is an ingredient all her own.
Frozen Butterball turkeys, 10 pounds or larger, are just 99 cents a pound. Winn-Dixie fully cooked half-spiral sliced hams are only $2.49 a pound. And 5-pound bags of Idaho russet, yellow, or red potatoes are buy one, get one free.
And even though you can bring home everything you need for the holiday season from Winn-Dixie, only Mom can bring home the love.
Impress me.
Showing? Quantum of Solace is the #1 movie in the world.
What were you expecting?
Daniel Craig proves he's the best Bond ever.
It's not a compliment.
Quantum of Solace. Rated PG-13, now playing everywhere.
All
our biggest savings of the year.
This week at Rick Case.
It's No Pay November. Save thousands and don't pay a dime till 2009 at Rick Case. New Hondas that get up to 45 miles per gallon from $135 a month. Only Rick Case gives you a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Plus huge savings on used cars. We've got millions in financing and leasing through Honda with 0 down, 0% or 0 payments. Not a dime till 09 during No Pay November. This week at Rick Case Honda, I-75 at Griffin.
Time now for 7 Sports with Steve Shapiro.
Second half of a back-to-back for the Heat. Washington last night, Toronto in town tonight. The Heat lost up there on Sunday, trying to get even at home tonight. Heat in the home white, game tied in the third. Andrea Bargnani had 25. Toronto leads by 3. Raptors make 6 threes in the third. This is Anthony Parker. Heat trail as many as 17, but here come the Heat. Dwayne Wade. The Heat were down 10 after 3 into the fourth quarter now. The Heat go on a 25-7 run. Wade had 40. Sean Marion had a game-high 20, not a game-high, a season-high. Wade again, and the Heat lead by 1. But Parker hits another 3. Toronto's up by 2. Later, the Heat down 1. Chris Bosh to Jermaine O'Neal. They didn't quit, but the Heat lose 101-96.
Scrapping and fighting. I think that's kind of the fabric of this team. There's a lot of fight in this team and a lot of competitiveness, a great competitive spirit. So hopefully we can build on this.
Cleveland going for its 9th straight win against Detroit. The Pistons rally. Iverson off the steal. Detroit down as many as 13, come back to win the game. Iverson had 23. Detroit beats Cleveland 96-89. The Cavs streak is over at 8. It was the coming out party the last time the Dolphins played the Patriots. They'll do it again this Sunday with a lot more at stake this time. It was week 3. The Dolphins spanked the Pats 38-13. Beginning with that game, the Dolphins have won 6 of their last 8. Now they're tied for second with New England, 1 game out of first. This is huge.
It doesn't feel different. You probably don't have a pulse, as Coach Sperano would say. It should feel different. You're in November. You set yourself up to have a game like this, and so it should feel different. That shouldn't change your preparation, but the excitement should definitely be there. The energy should be there. The enthusiasm should be there.
So get excited, Chad. In that last game, the Dolphins debuted the now famous Wildcat formation, and the Finns ran wild. The Pats vow to be ready for anything this time.
We're getting ourselves ready for anything they throw at us. You know, they've done a great job with it all season long, starting with us with that 3rd game of the season. But other than that, we're just preparing for everything. And, you know, when they come with it, we'll be ready for it.
Around the league, Cowboys cornerback Pac-Man Jones has been reinstated by the NFL, suspended this time for fighting with his own bodyguard. And former Cane Edgerrin James has asked the Arizona Cardinals for his release. The Cards say no. Edge lost his starting job to rookie Tim Hightower. Canes play at Georgia Tech tomorrow night. It's simple. Win their last 2, and the Canes are in the conference championship game with a shot at a BCS bowl game. After losing 2 conference games early, the Canes have been playing must-win games ever since, and they've won 5 in a row, just trying to keep the streak going tomorrow night at Georgia Tech.
We've done that for the last 5 weeks. You know, every game seems like it means something, and you go back to the Virginia game, every week is the next big, the week gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the stage ain't going to get nothing but bigger, and more wins you have, the more people are going to talk. So, you know, we're excited about what position we're in right now, but we understand we have a game to play on Thursday, and we need to be ready for it.
Looking forward to that, and an historic hire in Major League Baseball today. The Seattle Mariners make Don Wakamatsu their new manager, the first Asian-American manager in Major League history. And Yankees pitcher Mike Mussina will reportedly announce his retirement at 40 years old. Last season, Mussina won 20 games for the first time in his career. He is probably walking away from multi-millions. Panthers play at New Jersey tomorrow. Craig and Belkis are back after this.
7 News, brought to you in part by Ashley Furniture Home Stores, now offering no interest until 2012.
This holiday season, Volvo would like to offer you the gift of savings with a $750 gift card. The gift of service with complimentary factory scheduled maintenance. And the gift of safety for life. Happy holidays from Volvo. The season of giving event ends January 2nd.
Our biggest savings of the year.
This week at Rick Case.
It's No Pay November. Save thousands on brand new Hondas, and you don't pay till May. This week at Rick Case. Huge savings on new Honda Cruisers from $33.99. New ATVs from $24.99. Aquatrax just $69.99. Even dirt bikes for only $11.39. We've got millions in financing through Honda available now with 0 down, 0% and 0 payments. You don't pay till May during No Pay November. This week at Rick Case Honda, I-75 at Griffin.
Get what you want, get what you need. Get it all with Comcast Digital Cable and On Demand. 10,000 titles you can start anytime. Most are free. And access to over 1,000 HD programming choices when you get HD DVR service for only $9.99 more per month. Get what you want, get what you need. Get digital cable and On Demand. $29.99 a month for 6 months. Add HD DVR for $9.99 a month. Call 1-800-COMCAST.
That's a wrap for us. First to 10. Ciao, ciao. I'm Belkis Nuray.
I'm Craig Stevens. Stay tuned. The news continues.